Hello, and welcome to Empowering Voices. How are you doing? It's good to have you with us today. Before we go any further, let me introduce you to a wonderful lady and a good friend of mine, Erlinda Patterson. Erlinda, would you
Hi.
say hello to our audience and our guests?
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm a wonderful lady. Thank you. It feels so good. You know, I feel wonderful today. We have some great people on, an amazing 13-year-old child we're going to hear about in a minute. Okay. So thank you for introducing me, Morris. Thank you.
Thank you. Today we have a special guest, and I'm going to do a special favor for myself and for the audience. Erlinda has so many talents and abilities. I'm going to allow her to bring our guest into the studio. Erlinda, would you bring our guest in?
Of course, of course. You know, we have a young lady. I'm going to go straight to our main star. Her name is Allanah Mouton. Allanah is a fabulous child. I mean, a young lady who is already in college. She's 13. Can you believe it? Oh my God. I love the story and I researched it. But there's always someone there helping that individual.
Yeah.
That pat on the back, that person that's always guiding them. And there's Vickie Davis, her mother is here. So
I want to
her
say
parents,
hello to the both of you.
Yes, Vickie, thank you.
Hello.
Hi,
Say hello. Thank you. Yeah, say hello
Thank you,
to
Vickie.
our audience, Vickie. Yeah.
hello. My name is Vickie Davis. I am Allannah's mom. I too am ecstatic and couldn't be prouder of Allanah. I didn't have to research the story like Miss Erlinda. I've had a front row seat.
Of course.
Well, I want to say we are ecstatic, we're excited, and we want to know more about this special person. And we're going to do this before. I really want to hear from you, Allanah. I want you to be as comfortable as you can and just express yourselves. But I just kind of give you a little heads up. We're gonna be talking about where you're going, how you plan to get there. And we really want to know who was the aide, the assistant. Was there anybody impacting your life? So we're just going to unfold some of those things as we just communicate back and forth. So Allanah, say hello to our guests, to our audience, please.
Hello, my name is Allanah.
Hi, Allanah.
Special. Well, what are we going to start off with? Just a simple something that you know a lot about. Tell us about your early experiences in education. What was that like? Can you give us a feel for where you were, what happened? What is education to you?
Yeah, right. It's a funny story because I've never really actually liked school, but I've always liked to learn. And usually you hear people say they don't like something because they're not good at it, but for me it was like the exact opposite. Like school was always so easy and it began to be boring because like there was no challenge. So that's why I always say I never liked school, but I've always liked to learn. So that's I've always gotten straight A's and it's really been the hardest to like find stuff that like challenges me, and I think that's why I began to like pick up a lot of instruments and start to draw and get into my musical and artistic side because I was very bored in school.
Now I'm going to say some things here. I'm going to say teacher, I'm going to say classroom, I'm going to say homework, and I'm going to say studying. Tell me what comes to mind when I say those things. What do you think about when I say all of those things? Let's go with one. Teacher. Go ahead, Erlinda.
No, I was going to say, I bet you she's got 1,000 things she could say about him.
Yes.
I'd say when I think of teacher. I think of more like the people in my family who have helped me throughout the years, not really school.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yes.
Now, I heard you say something about challenging or being bored, meaning that, and it sounded like you were saying learning is an easy process for you. Is that correct?
I wouldn't say an easy process, but just a process that I enjoy. And so I think once I keep practicing and doing it over and over again, it becomes easy in the process just because it's something I like to do. So it's never really felt like a challenge.
You took my next question away. You said,
Right.
I wanted to ask you, how do you feel about it? You said, I like to do it. Now, do you know how many people? I mean, there's going to be people looking at this interview and they're going to be listening to what you just said, and they just heard something that will help them propel them to a place where you're going. Now, tell me, where are you going?
So I think my main goal, like, well, first of all, I like learning, as I mentioned before. So I think
Yes.
after I finish college and after I get my degree, I just want to learn as much as I can so that I can have a career where I can continue to learn and grow.
So you said you're going to college?
Yeah.
That
Yes.
is precious. Now, again, just for the audience, how old are you? If
13.
13 years old and you're going to college, how do you feel about that?
I'm super excited, and I've already actually started some of my college classes, and the work is like it teaches you so much, and it's just a very eye-opening experience.
Vickie, we got to bring you in. How do you feel? How do
Yes.
you feel about this?
Well, I'm excited for her because I got to see what she's talking about. You know, she said she was bored in school. I mean, she was the kid who got in trouble for finishing her work too soon or for
Mm.
finishing her class in class or, you know, all of those type of things. She even in the fifth grade, her teacher noticed, you know, that she was just getting done with everything so quickly, and she actually had her tested. So she ended up skipping the fifth grade and going directly to the sixth grade. And I'm excited that she has an opportunity to be challenged because how else are you supposed to reach your potential, you know? And I know college, it sounds like scary, but um, honestly, COVID has been a blessing and a curse, you know, because she's right now doing online learning with Cal State LA. So that means that I still get to, you know, supervise and be close and, you know, not have to worry about what I think you're insinuating about, you know, the college life on campus experience. But eventually she will be on campus. And I'm excited for her for that as well because the school that she's going to, there's a small community of about 20 students who are going to be a part of her cohort. So she will have opportunities to still be connecting with people of her own age and social maturity level. So, yeah, it's nerve wracking, but I think sending our kids to college is nerve wracking no matter how old they are when they go. You know, I've seen people posting about their 20-year-olds going off to college and still crying, and you know, with all that are
Yes.
and you know, the real bon voyage experience, you know. So yeah, a little bit more so because she's so young, but she's gonna still, you know, be close to home because she's at Cal State LA, and we're just gonna keep doing the things that we've always done to keep our family close, so that she maintains those safeguards.
Erlinda, you sent some kids to school, didn't you?
Yes, yes, yes. You know, it was fun. It was fun. But however, you know, the community, you know, you hear the comment, it takes a village. It really does. However, there's always the one parent or the parents who see that that child is not being challenged enough. you
Mm.
know, and I believe that's why she didn't necessarily gravitate to enjoying it too much in the beginning, because she didn't have the challenges, you know, and fortunately they tested her. They really, really did a wonderful thing, because this young lady is brilliant. If I may add, Allanah, Mr. Perry adores you and speaks very highly of you. Uh, Vickie, also, he speaks very highly of yourself. And I'm very proud. I've been trying to get him for a couple of years to be on television for me, and he wouldn't. But for Allanah, he would. So it's a big deal. It's a really big deal. Morris, I'm going to ask her, Allanah, what has been the greatest aid and the assistant who has really impacted your goal? Allanah, who has been there the most, who has really impacted the goal that you're on?
Well, I feel like my whole life I grew up in a very educational oriented household. Like my mom was going to college, my aunt, and like my grandmother was always there. You know, like they were all like teaching me and helping me in the process. And I remember even when I think I was about 8 or 9 years old, I would study and like help my older aunts, like who were in college, prepare for like their tests and stuff. Like they would have me read their books and like make up catchy songs to remember all of the parts of the body, because they're going to nursing school. So it was just a really fun like experience, and it was also helped me learn a lot.
You
Wonderful.
you said something that I'm very excited about. uh, Erlinda asked a really good question, and your answer was perfect. And you said, my mom, my grandmother, you said that there were support services or systems of support people in your life. There's so many people who have those support people and they don't recognize them. You recognize them. I mean, it does my heart good, and it does their heart good to know that you recognize where support comes from. I just want to say personally, thank you for being able to do that. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yes, it is. It's great.
For me to hear, to that she feels like learning and education is was just a part of our family culture. It was just a natural part of our environment that she absorbed into who she is, and it's just amazing how she's using it as a strength now.
That's wonderful. Now, I got to ask this question. What was the program that allowed the 13-year-old to attend a university? What program is that?
Right, so it's called the Early Interest Program, and it's basically just a program designed to get younger kids into college, right? Hence the name. So I think it's from ages 11 to 15 have the chance to apply.
There's got to be somebody out there that got up this morning, watched the program, they're listening to you, and they're thinking, I've got some talents and abilities. What you're saying to them is probably going to wake some people up. So I'm
Yes.
saying thank you again. Thank you. What is your major? What is it that when you go to college, what is it that you're wanting to do? What's your major?
So I'm majoring in chemistry, and I think I chose to major in chemistry because I really like science, and I really also like math. Like that's a big part, and it's also been one of the main challenges for me throughout like my college experience so far. But I think it's like one of my favorite things, and because that it was a challenge.
Okay, we've talked a lot about education. Now let's talk about fun. What do you do for fun?
So I think I mentioned before I play a lot of instruments and I love to draw and paint and like all that kind of stuff. But I also like something that's maybe a little more regular, as people would say. Like I like to watch anime. I watch a lot of anime. My favorite anime right now is Naruto, and yeah, it's like At the end of a stressful day, like I take like 30 minutes before bedtime and just like watch one of my comfort shows, you know.
Okay.
Wow.
Erlinda, did you have a question?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Allanah. Allanah, hon, what do you think of kids today being hooked night and day with games? You know, those games. What do you think?
I like to play games too. I do play one game, but I think, and maybe not being hooked on it, but I do think that games can help you build skills depending on what kind of games they are. So maybe not being hooked on it, but having a healthy relationship with like electronics and playing games and stuff like that, it can be good, you know, as long as you like manage your time. You know, you can't spend the whole day on a game, right? That's not very productive. But still, I do think games have benefits.
Good, good. That's a good answer there. Whereas this young lady knows how to keep schedules. I know she does.
I'm listening to her, and I took a year off from football. Didn't watch any last year, and then they talked about the football stadium that's in Los Angeles, the state of the art, and it's basically a computer program that some gamer designed. So I'm listening to Allanah, and I'm saying, yes, she is ahead of our time. You're going to be a designer for
Yes.
our future. That's wonderful. I got to share something with you, Allanah. I told my daughters this. I have two daughters. They went to college, and they pretty much thought like you are expressing yourself. College was just something that I was going to do. Education it's a natural process that we did. That's the way my daughters did. They went to college, and I told them, I said, "Hun, when you go to college, this is the only time in life when you're going to be with people who everyone is doing the same thing. We all have the same goal." And I said, and you're going to make friends. And many of those friends are going to be your friends for the rest of your life. And in both cases with both daughters, that is exactly what happened, as it happened with me. So I just share this with you. As you make friends, you're going to be making friends that are you'll will be around for the rest of your life. But I want to say one thing: you're going to be their boss because you are an exceller. You excel. I just want to just
Yes.
encourage you that way. Yes, you excel. What
I
advice would you
agree
give
with
to?
that 100%.
Yeah. What advice would you give to someone who's watching this program and has an interest uh, in achieving or in going to college, and they're a young person such as yourself? What advice would you give them?
I would just say it's like a very stressful process, and it's a pretty long process. So I think just be prepared for that. But I say don't let that scare you because like it's worth it in the end. And like if you have the motivation to do it and you're ready for the challenge, then don't let that stop you.
What is your
Okay.
motivation? What was your motivation?
I think that's like the hardest question for me because I've never really felt, I don't know, like my motivation came from a certain source. I think it's just like because it's like, I don't know, like it's just a fun thing for me to do that like it I like to be great, right? All right. That's my motivation. I want to be great.
You've said so many things, and I love your language and I love your expression. You've said so many things that anyone who hears you can feel your thoughts, they
Mhm.
can feel your passion, they can feel your desire to achieve. And so, although we're not saying those words, when you're speaking, they can feel that and
Yes.
they can sense that. So I just want to say this has been and I said this to myself, this is a first for me. It's a first to talk to someone of your age, of your caliber, and of your conquest. This is a first for me, but this is not going to be the first for you. You're going to continue to do these things for the rest of your life, because you got the rest of your life in front of you.
That's
And
right.
Vickie, I want to say thank you for doing such a wonderful job and not holding her back.
Oh, well, thank you. And I have to thank the support systems, in my life that are the same ones that she has had. I had built-in babysitters. I had, like you said, college was the first time that you would be around everyone with the same goals. Well, not for me, because my family and I, like, we are very close. We communicate very well, and we have goals for ourselves and for our family. And one of those includes pouring everything we can into our children. So I appreciate my mom, my sisters, for being there to support me while I was in school, and raising Allanah and raising her little sister, and I couldn't have done it without them.
Well, I'm going to say, go ahead. Please.
I'm sorry, Morris. I'm so
No, go ahead.
sorry.
Yes.
This young lady is quite advanced, and well, not advanced. She's where she's supposed to be.
Yes.
This is the level she's supposed to be, and no telling how far she's going to go. I'm really proud of her. I'm really proud of the fact that Ms. Vickie has done such a great job, along with her family, to get her to this point. However, it costs money. Morris, you know that. It costs money. I have a young lady going to Cal Baptist right now. Ooh, that's expensive, very expensive. And there is a program. Could you tell me a little bit, Vickie, about Spot Fund and what it is? We need to raise some money for this young lady.
Right, so you guys can go to Spot Fund, which is through GoFundMe. So it's basically a GoFundMe account that is helping to support Allanah with all the expenses that come along with college. As you can imagine, we did not know that we were going to have a 13-year-old in college. So we weren't exactly financially prepared to support that at this point in time. So we appreciate that we've had the support of Mayor Robinson through the Deborah Robinson Foundation, and also the fundraising efforts that we're doing as a family with the community. So you can go to Spot Fund, Allannah's College Fund, and her name is spelled Allanah. And then College Fund, and then you can make a donation. You'll see her picture there and a little bit about her story, how she got into the EAT program, and what her major is, what her career goals are, and things like that. So we really appreciate that support, and we appreciate you guys for helping us get that out there.
Oh, absolutely, Morris.
Yeah, that is wonderful. The only advice that I have for you, Vickie, is that when you write this book, would you sign the copy that I get?
I'll let Allanah.
I'm thinking you need to write a book as to how we got to where we're at, so somebody else can do the same thing. And Allanah, I just want to say thank you for coming, for showing, for expressing yourself. You've been a wonderful person to interview, to speak with. Erlinda, do you have anything you'd like to say to them?
I'm really proud of you, Allanah. I really am. When Perry told me about you, I told Morris right away, we need to do a program on this young lady. And he wholeheartedly agreed. So here we are. And Miss Vickie, thank you for having such a beautiful child. I foresee the future being outstanding for this young lady, and of course for the family. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Would you like to close us out, Erlinda?
Well, not necessarily. This is your show.
I want to thank all of you, our special guests, and our audience for joining us in Empowering Voices, where we bring the community to you. This is your radio program. This is your TV program where we speak what you are concerned about. Empowering Voices. Thank you. Thank you, Allanah. Thank you, Vickie.
Bye-bye, guys.
High five.
Thank you.